Okay, so hi, it's Kungfufruitcup. You're here watching Out of Bounds. Let me talk. I'm really good at ventriloquism, except for I didn't have anything to. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Jokes aside. Um, welcome to Out of Bounds. This is a show all about glitches in glitch heavy speedruns. And we bring on runners to talk about them, break them down, and showcase off these glitches so that you all can learn more about them than you would in a typical speed run. So once again, I'm Kungfufruitcup, and tonight I'm joined by Oddme, who is back with us with more Mario games because that is the thing that Oddme does the most, the best. Is kind of just a legend at these games. And tonight, we hadn't. It's how long have I had the show? Like a couple years, and we still haven't had on Mario 64. And I was like, it's time. And so was Oddme. Oddme was like, that's what I want to show off. And so, how's it going, Oddme? How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I just got back from a week-long trip at another event, and I'm ready for another hot fix with more Mario. And I'm glad that we're finally doing 64,
Yeah.
probably the most iconic of all of them. So
Right? Exactly. I know it's really iconic. There are a couple games that I haven't had on that I'm like, even shock myself at being like, why hasn't this been on the show? So this is a game where we all know it's a broken game. We're gonna learn how. There's only so much that goes on a Mario 64, but I think you'll be surprised at the amount of little things like tricks and kind of unintended things that you can actually do in this game. So, Oddme is here to show all that off. As always, I'll be providing kind of commentary on the side, just kind of peanut gallery, responding to things, and if you all have questions in chat, I can always relay them. But this is again not a speedrun format show. This is a showcase style show. So if you want to learn about the glitches and how things work in games like these, and all your favorite speed games that tend to be pretty broken, this is a perfect show for you. So, yeah, again, feel free to ask questions as we go along, and I'm gonna let Oddme count us down, and we'll get started with the showcase and see what all of the wonderful things we get to see in Mario 64.
all right. Well, if we're ready on the countdown, I assume so. Uh, yeah. I will count us down. 3, 2, 1, go. So, Mario 64 can't really experience the game just yet because Peach needs to send us this letter about the cake.
Mhm.
This intro is about 50 seconds long, so I guess I'll get into kind of the format of what this will be. It's not going to be a very specific category like 16 or 70 star or something like that. The closest thing it will get to is 70 stars, but we might go under that, we might go over. A lot of it's just going to be going out of my way to add in some extra stars that you normally wouldn't see in the shorter categories. There's some extra backwards long jumps that you might see and some other tricks that get incorporated into just from all of the other categories. And now that Mario's jumping out of the pipe, I'm actually going to do one of those right now. So obviously, most of these tricks are already pretty well known, like the one coming up here, Lack-2 Skip.
So
So
how do we?
usually what you do
Yeah.
is you long jump on the edge of this bridge and you skip Lack-2. You can see him kind of chilling over there. So that's the really basic way of doing Lack-2 Skip. We're gonna do it a completely different way.
Wait, okay, so just as like a quick guide, how do you kind of time or space out the actual skip itself? Because it seems like it's a very specific, like you have to be so close to the ledge of the bridge in order to get past him, and it's like you can't stop either, right? So it's like two long jumps back to back, right? Like give me the lowdown on that real quick.
Yeah, it is actually like a pretty basic trick. You literally just line yourself up at the edge of the bridge and you long jump twice. Once from before the bridge and then once on the edge of it. If you're too far left, then you'll ledge grab the bridge and encounter Lack-2. And if you're too far right, then he'll just stop you in the middle of your second long jump.
Mhm.
But it's honestly one of the easier tricks, and it saves about 7 seconds. So if you miss it, it's not too big of a deal. But there is a way more flashy version of doing it that involves getting on top of the castle. And obviously,
Ooh.
you can't get on top of the castle and see Yoshi until you get all 120 stars. This is when the cannon opens. But there is another way of getting up there right from the beginning of the game. It involves this hill over here, and the way slopes in this game work is if you try doing jumps up a slope, he'll just do a single jump like that until he slides down. However, if you try to chain a triple jump up a slope, then it does work, so he'll still gain all the height. And we can actually use that to slide off the slope and get on top of the castle like that. So this might take a few tries, but And I should note that I am playing on the Wii Virtual Console release of the game. See, just like that, already on
Oh,
top of the
nice.
castle. Yeah, I am playing on the Virtual Console version of the game, which is faster by quite a bit due to faster loads and no lag happening, unlike the N64 version.
Mhm.
Not really gonna make much of a difference for this. It's just a showcase, but
I
that is
do
something to
have a
take note of.
I actually have a personal question about the version differences. Now, like, for example, when you play like Donkey Kong 64, there are things that are done with the N64 lag in mind that when you play it on Virtual Console are so much more difficult because with that lag removed, like you suddenly don't have that buffer that like they almost kind of planned in. Is there anything like that that happens in this game that's kind of like, oh, without the lag, this becomes more difficult because we don't have buffer, or would you say it's kind of not it doesn't have any of those moments really?
Um, I feel like some things, just general movement, might be considered easier with the lag in mind, but lag is actually a bit of a hindrance when running this game. People
Sure.
try to go out of their way to reduce as much lag as possible, since it just slows the game down. And that's
Yeah.
why some people prefer running on VC, because you can just do inputs when you want. And there are places like Dire Docks where you have Bowser's gigantic submarine that just reduces the game's frame rate by so much that it actually becomes a bit harder to do certain inputs. Um,
Oh, okay.
so on Virtual Console, you won't have to worry about that, which is
Right.
kind of where some community arguments come in about like what's the best version really to run on. And right now, that's kind of agreed to be N64, despite VC being the fastest. N64 is just kind of considered the most prestigious way to play the game, but
Right.
that's a whole different topic.
Right, absolutely. So it seems like then it's kind of the opposite where like you don't want any lag for any reason here because I mean this is more of a straight platformer, like 3D platformer rather than like with DK64, which is the example I had in mind. There are the mini games themselves tend to be the things that benefit the most from the lag rather than the actual platforming in the game. So like based on my recollection. So that does make sense for this. When you just want straight clean inputs with your platforming, you wanna make sure that there's no lag for it. But yeah, of course, the whole 64 virtual console thing isn't worth discussing here today. And also,
Yeah.
this is where we get Yoshi. We're on top of the castle already. We did it.
Yes. Unfortunately, Yoshi does not show up until 120, so we do not get to actually see him, but
Oh,
we do get to get on top of the castle. Um, and this is where the very slow but more flashy Lakitu skip comes in. There is a chance that I actually do miss it. If I do, then it's not big of a deal. You can kind of figure out how it works just from the fact that I'm up here. You kind of get the idea of what's going to happen. So instead of long jumping on the bridge, I'm just going to jump off of the castle here. And if I do a well-timed kick while holding backwards, I should be able to just get where Lakitu is. And let's see if I can go into
oh.
first person to kind of show where I'll be. Yeah, that's the entrance to the castle right there.
Mhm.
So let's see if I can get this. See, and now Act Two is just right there.
Oh,
If I
oh my
if
gosh!
I was like if I was like a bit farther, then I would have landed on the bridge and actually triggered his cutscene.
So
So
it's the bridge specifically that triggers it.
yeah, if you stand anywhere on this bridge, then you will end up talking to Lakitu. Now that
Oh.
we've skipped Lakitu, this is actually a good opportunity to show another glitch that you can do on top of the castle. This will cause us to talk to Lakitu due to it respawning on the bridge. But this is a very odd glitch that not really sure why this happens. This can happen in multiple places in the game, but on top of the castle is the most prominent one. This ledge right here, if I ledge grab it normally, nothing really happens. But if I'm on the very edge of it, like right about here, this might take some tries. This might work. And I get up, Mario will actually just die and lose his hat for some reason. Yeah, and I need to be a bit farther right.
Oh. Okay. I've never seen this.
Yep, there
What?
we go.
What?
And then he just respawns on the bridge, and Lakitu talks to us. Very odd glitch. Nobody really knows why that happens.
Can you
It might have something to do with like just where you are on the map.
can you
Um,
do it at any point, or is it only at the beginning here?
I think it can be done at other points, but that is the easiest way to trigger it. So,
Like, is before you talk to Lakitu, you mean?
oh, you can do that specific version whenever you want,
Oh,
but
okay, that was my
uh,
question. Cool.
that's just,
Okay.
that's just the most convenient way to show it off. Is just right at the beginning. All right, now that we're in the castle, there's actually two ways we can go that both involve some glitches. We can go to the Ball on Battlefield, and I can show a bomb clip, or we can just go straight to Bowser in the Dark World by showing our first backwards long jump glitch, which is LBLJ. which stands for lobby backwards long jump. So I think I'm actually going to show that one off first, since it is the more difficult version, or the more difficult glitch out of the two.
Okay.
So this little pillar here, standing outside of it, you don't really think much of it, but you can actually go inside of it by clipping in through the ceiling. So let's see if I can, just with a double jump like that, Mario just clips right in. And
This is
now,
great.
so obviously, if you've watched Mario 64 90 capacity, you know what a BLJ is. Mario doesn't have a capped backward speed in this game, unless you're playing on a certain version that did actually cap his backward speed, which got rid of BLJs. Thankfully, that is not the case in the version I'm playing on, so we can just show off a bunch of BLJs that we'll be going throughout the game, including this one, which is actually one of the more difficult ones. So might take a few tries, but basically I'm going to push up against this wall here, and I'm going to start a long jump in this very tight space. As you can see, there's not really much room to start a long jump, otherwise I'll just clip back out. And then I can actually just mash A up against this corner, and assuming I get the speed without getting too much speed that I just clip out, I can just convert all my momentum to backwards momentum and clip through the entry door, and just get out of the castle. And if I rotate the camera in a certain way, I'll just be able to push Mario up the central stairs and put him into Bowser in the Dark World, because he has so much speed that he just gets pushed right past the door that normally requires 8 stars.
It's so interesting how like it's like there's so much speed that walls just essentially disappear.
Yeah, it's not like DK64 where walls are just a suggestion in general.
Right.
You do need a ridiculous amount of speed to clip through them, but
yeah.
Mario does end up just getting pushed through. So I'm gonna go for first attempt of LBLJ here. Alright, and as you can see, I'm in the wall here.
Nice.
Up the stairs, and now we are in Bowser in the Dark World just like that.
But without 10 stars.
Yeah, 8 stars. I
8
believe
stars.
in Mario 64 DS they actually upgraded to 12 stars, which is interesting. 64 DS is a broken game in its own right. It doesn't have BLJs or anything, but it does have a very broken speedrun as well.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll have to have that on sometime. That's cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I just love the thing about BLJs and how they just, it's like suddenly when you go backwards, speed is not an issue. Like there's no cap, and so you can just keep gaining speed forever and ever. Pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Now we're just gonna run through Bowser in the Dark World here, get the red coins. Not really any glitches to show off here. Just some nice movement. Definitely one of the more difficult levels in the game. Getting the reds here. So many different cycles you can make. The one that I normally go for is Shigeru's cycle, which is a pretty standard fast cycle that most runners go for. There is, I believe, each faster cycle that you get in Dark World saves about 2 seconds over each previous cycle, which is pretty ridiculous once you get to the top level. So people are going for like every hard strat in Dark World. Did not make that cycle right there, but fine. Then you can just get up here, get all the reds, and then get straight to the star. And the fastest route for the 16-star category actually does do LBLJ and starts off with Dark World. There is a no LBLJ route that starts off with a bomb clip and actually does get the 8 stars to enter Dark World. And just to kind of put into perspective how crazy BLJs are, that route, just by doing one trick, ends up saving about, I believe it's like 30 seconds, just because of the routing differences. That's our first Bowser throw right there.
Here we go, and you only need 1 for this fight. Yay, as I'm sure we all know.
Now that Dark World is over, I'm going to head into Bomb Battlefield just to show off Bomb Clip since we skipped that out earlier. And then I'll head to Womp's Fortress to show another very iconic glitch, Cannonless, which I'm sure a lot of people know of. The thing about Mario 64,
I've done it.
I'm sure everybody's done Cannonless at some point.
Yeah, there are guides that'll really help you through. They're so straightforward. You can legit, anybody can just go do it. Just use a guide and you'll probably get it within a couple of tries. I was really excited when I got it.
Alright, so Bomb Battlefield, Bomb Clip, another very iconic glitch. probably the first thing that most people learn in their Mario 64 speedruns. Normally, you need to pound this this peg here to unlock the chain chomp and have him break the cage so you can access the star. But the bombs are very interesting in this game. Usually, if you throw one, it just kind of blows up. You don't really think much of it, get a coin out of it. But if you actually pick up the bomb right before it blows up, it will just kind of stay in its big form, and it'll push you back constantly, so you just get a bunch of speed while you're holding the bomb. That does not last forever, though. I can just see if I can try to pick it up here. As you can see, I'm just moving backwards constantly, and eventually it will blow up in my face.
Oh, sure. How do you pick it up with the right timing and the right direct? Like, how do you time that so that you're picking it up in the right way?
So,
Backwards,
the
like,
inputs
twice.
are actually pretty simple. You just do one jump to get some speed so that you can catch up with the bomb. What's he doing? Okay, he's gone. I never see him walk off like that before. Yeah, usually how it works is you just do a double jump while holding the bomb, because if you jump while carrying something, Mario gets a lot more speed. His normal walking speed while carrying objects is very slow. And then once you're far enough after the second jump, if you just press B to punch the bomb right as it's about to blow up, and it should stay in its big state. And we can actually use that momentum to push us through the chain chomp's gate here. Get it. Doing this after showing it off a few times is a bit more tricky, because the camera angle is not ideal like it is when you enter the level for the first time, so it might take a few tries.
So you're going, yeah, so now we gotta respawn it. So it usually has like a default camera that...
There we go. And
okay,
once
so...
you throw the bomb, it pushes you for the final time to get you through the gate.
Gotcha. So it'll push you back, so you just make sure you're facing the right direction and then let go of it to have it push you backwards through the gate.
Yep, that's pretty much how it works.
Sweet.
That's probably the only major glitch so far from Ball Battlefield. There's something else that we'll come back to later towards the end, just to show off. But for now, we're going to be going to Womp's Fortress to show off Cannonless, which everybody's heard of Cannonless at this point. There's so many different ways to do it.
Even for those who like, don't know what it is.
Yeah. If you've never seen Cannonless, somehow, you will be in for a treat.
Okay,
there have been so many different ways of doing this trick.
Teach us the easiest way to do it then. Also, we have an interesting question from chat whenever we have like a moment of downtime.
Yeah, once you can ask it here once I'm up here now.
The question is, how far are we from the human limit of the speedrun for this game? And like, and it's hard to really answer that, but people continue to surprise. I will say that much. Yeah,
I will say the human limit for this game is probably nowhere in sight right now as far as something like 120 star goes. I think for the shorter categories, like 16 star, for example, it is pretty darn close to the limit, because Green Suigi, who is considered to be like the GOAT of this game right now, he holds 4 out of 5 major category world records, everything except 120. His current world record in 16 star, 14:35, I believe is the time, is an absolutely ridiculous run. Like, I don't even think he expected to get a time that good. It was pretty much perfect by all the community standards, so the only thing that could possibly be getting close to some sort of limit would be 16, but for a game as long as this one, and also a 3D game, we won't be seeing people get close to a human limit for a pretty long time. Because 70 star, the world record's about 46 minutes, and then 120 is an hour 37. So there's still a lot to go, unlike something like Mario 1, which is only about 5 minutes, where people are basically getting extremely close to the human limit, if not already reached it. So yeah, SM64 still got a long way to go.
Yeah, like when you have things like carpetless, it's like, oh no, it's pass only, and then somebody goes, JK, I just did it in RTA. You're like, okay, well, here's the next tier. Here's the next thing. Like, yeah.
We will not be showing off carpetless today.
Okay.
As one
we can talk about it.
Yeah. So,
okay, cool.
This plank here is very special. We love this plank because this is how we get this star right here. You can't really see it that well, but as you can see, there's kind of a line there on that ledge. normally what you have to do is beat the Womp King, and then come back here later and talk to the Pink Bomb to open up the cannon, and you shoot that wall, and it opens up, and there's a star waiting for you. But that is slow. That is actually what people used to do back in the day, because the original setup for cannonless, there was no setup. You would literally just walk off this plank and land right in the star, and it is almost considered luck whether you would get it or not, because the star rotation is just so weird. Like, there were so many theories as to why it didn't and sometimes did work. Until Sockfolder, I'm not exactly sure what year this happened, but Sockfolder, who is famous for finding so many glitches in like Mario 1 and sometimes even SM64, pretty minor stuff. He came in years later after people were struggling so much with cannonless and found a super consistent setup for it that involves this ledge right here and the thing called that we just call plank push. So if you jump and land right here on this plank, it will kind of nudge Mario to the side there. And then if you do that and then just ledge grab here, this already sets you up to get the trick. If I somehow don't get this, then it would be a surprise. That's how consistent this is. And then after, just grab the ledge here and then push up against the plank. And then you literally just backflip without holding anything and adjust the camera twice to the side. And once you're on here, you can just do a punch. And that gives you enough distance so that you can just walk straight to the star. Because there are different types of ledge grabs in this game. If you just press A, Mario will do a quick get up, as you saw me get on the earlier ledge there. But if you do a slow get up by holding up on the control stick, and then you hold straight down, he'll actually do a full 180. And doing that off of this plank here, by slowly walking down and grabbing it, and then just do a minor camera adjustment here. Once I hold up and then switch straight to down, I should walk right into the star. This loses quite a bit of time compared to OG Cannonless, which is just running right off the plank, but it's so much more consistent that nobody does OG Cannonless anymore, so let's see if it works. Yep, just like that.
Nice.
Walk right into the star.
Is there...
That setup is so good that it just caused so many more people to start running this game, because it's just helped so much with getting Cannonless.
That's fair. I was gonna say, isn't there like a couple? I mean, there are a couple other strats that people use, and I feel like there's one that's technically faster than that at this point, right?
Yes, there are two more setups that are a bit faster. I will show off one of them.
Sure.
It's called Texture Setup. Basically, what it does is it just skips the whole process of ledge grabbing and backflipping to the plank. Once you get here, you literally just turn the camera, and there's a certain there's a literal texture on the plank. That's why it's called that. There's like a little brown line. I can't really point to it exactly, but if you line up Mario right on the texture, I'm kind of doing this on a whim here, so I should be able to get it, hopefully.
I think I saw it, like the line.
Yeah, and then you just adjust the camera like that. Mario should be able to just walk right into the star, and it works. And you you're able to, that saves about 3 seconds, I believe, over the Sockfolder setup. And there is one more setup called Salt Cannonless, which is found by a runner named Salt and Ginger. That is a bit more complicated. It's kind of like a slightly slower version of OG Cannonless, where once you get up to these bricks here, you can just jump off them and land right on the plank. And then once you land there, you'll just be able to fall right into the star. But it's a bit hard to do while explaining, so we'll skip out on that for now.
Okay.
We were able to show off 2 different sets for Cannonless, though. And Wild Blue here, super easy star that we can just get as a backup if we miss Cannonless. So. Alright. I'll probably just run through Womp's Fortress just to get some more stars here, but as far as glitches go, that's pretty much the only major one here. There is a trick, though, that we can do called Owless, another pretty well-known trick. You normally cannot get up to this cage unless you beat the Womp King and get the Tower Star and spawn the owl and everything. But there's a triple jump here that you can do to wall kick off the cage and land right inside of it. There is a way to do with a double jump, but main purpose is just getting the star, so stick with a triple jump for now. Just like that.
Go back just far enough. Yeah, we're here for unintended things today. There's also, like, it's funny how you can, like, kind of phase through Womps, and
Oh yeah,
Um,
we can show off the wonk play as well. That is a glitch that just kind of gets overlooked as a glitch, even though it is one, because people
yeah.
just kind of do it without really thinking about it. Um, so yeah, this womp here, pretty straightforward how it works. Normally you just have to wait for him to ground pound you and then you get on his back, but you can literally just go right through him as he's landing on top of you.
Yeah.
Hitboxes are kind of non-existent in this game.
Yes, agreed. It's so funny. Boop, and then you're done.
Yeah, sadly, that does not work in the remake of this level in 64DS or Galaxy 2, in Throwback Galaxy.
Bummer. You actually have to do it the real way, the intended way. Did you see there's a video, you all, if you've seen it lately, somebody took this Mario sprite and a waffle that falls over. Just a
I did see that.
There's a
Yes.
Belgian waffle standing up, and it falls over, and then it does the Mario phasing through it thing, just like the WAP,
Yeah,
and it's
I
very
actually
funny.
did see that. On the tower here, Owlus actually is kind of a case of a less time save on VC than N64, because once you spawn the tower to get the owl on N64, the tower actually causes a bunch of lag in the game. So going for Owlus on N64 would be a lot more worth it than doing it on Virtual Console, because
Hmm,
you don't have lag when you have the tower, so you wouldn't have to really worry about getting rid of it as much if you were playing on VC. So
interesting,
that's
okay.
why that's one more reason why people consider N64 to be like the more difficult way of running the game.
Right.
Lag does kind of contribute to that a bit.
I think I know we didn't do the slide or anything, but I know that that's got, like it's not a glitch, but you just jump off. You can, like, slide in the opposite direction and then jump off, and it's just a fun little unintended thing you can do.
Yeah, Slide has a cool little shortcut we can show off a bit later.
Sure.
For now, though, we're going into Shifting Sandland. Pretty dreaded level by most people,
Oh, yeah, the top of
speedrunners
the
and
pyramid!
casuals alike. So, the top of the pyramid star inside the pyramid. Normally, you have to go in the entrance and then climb all the way up top and get the star. But there's a faster way to do it, which is getting the shell and then riding on all these 4 pillars. And then once you unlock the top of the pyramid, you can just get the star once you enter. There's an even faster way of getting inside there without using the shell at all, using a trick called Pillarless, and that involves more bomb momentum. It kind of works the same way as Bomb Clip, except we'll be using slopes this time to keep the bomb as long as possible.
Mhm.
And doing that, we'll be able to keep a bunch of backwards momentum to just get along on the quicksand and clip into the top of the pyramid, since there is a little part on the roof of the pyramid that allows us to get right inside using the momentum of the bomb. This might take a few tries, especially since I did not do it as I was just spawning in, so I have to wait for this bomb to get in position here. But basically how it starts is I just do a single jump and I grab the bomb, and then I will land on the back of this slope here and do a dive, and that puts the bomb in a state where it just won't explode unless I'm on the ground for too long. So I'm just going to be doing a bunch of ground pounds to keep myself in the air so that it won't explode. So
Cool.
I'm going to try and set up here.
Oh, that's why you do all the ground pounds, so they don't want to explode. Mm.
That's not going to work because the bomb was a bit too far right, but that kind of gives you the idea that that's what's going to be happening. Just for now, I'm going to get the top of the pyramid so I can set up for it again. It is a lot easier to do once you spawn right into the level instead of waiting for the bomb to walk around and everything. That makes it a bit more tricky. So, see if I can get it here.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know your favorite glitch and your least favorite.
Depending on how this goes, this might be my least favorite. So we'll see. Oh. So yeah, that part is probably the most difficult part of the glitch. Once you get onto that little seam between the quicksand, you have to do a very fast double jump by pressing A twice really fast. The rest of the glitch honestly isn't too bad, besides just getting a big bomb. Let's see if I can get on second try here. Okay, doesn't seem like it. You kind of get the idea here. I will go for it a few more times.
Sure.
Hopefully I can get it. But for now, I'm going to get another backup star, which is just getting the big star on the big bird, Klepto.
We're going to watch some stars for later.
Yeah, I did not get the wing cap yet because I don't have 10 stars, which unlocks the wing cap. But
Right.
once we unlock it, I'll show off another quick little glitch there, which is the text skip on the wing cap button.
Right. Cool.
There we go. That's what I was
Nice.
right there.
Ooh, very cool. And then you can go right there to the start.
Yeah.
No
You
going
just wanna
down,
jump right
coming
in.
back up.
Actually, very glad I got that because that was like my last try before running out of backup stars. So, yeah. Lethal Lava Land. There's really not much to do there in terms of glitches, so we're just gonna go straight to Hazy Maze Cave. And this is where walls. This is kind of a level where walls just don't really exist. But we'll get to that a bit later. For now, I'm going to do the 100 coin star, which is not normally something you'd see in a shorter category, but since it's just an exhibition, I will do it since this is where we'll be seeing our next BLJ. First, I have to get some of these reds by doing some wonky auto-scroller skips here. Messed up the first one, so we do have to ride it for a little bit. Yeah, this is a pretty precise setup here to long jump to the red coin. Gotta get on this box. Just grab that in the air, and then I can just double jump off this and get that red coin. And that allows us to get like half the reds in like one fell swoop.
Without, yeah, really cool. Without having to wait, which is awesome.
Yeah, that saves quite a bit of time because otherwise you just have to sit on that elevator and ride it the whole time. Now that we're in the Toxic Maze, just gonna get a few more coins here, and we'll be coming up on our next BLJ, which is not the only BLJ in Hazy Maze Cave. I will go for the other one time, but it is probably one of the hardest tricks in the entire game. So if I mess it up, then it's not that big of a deal. We can just move on to something else. But for now, this is the BLJ that we do in 100 coin, which is actually a lot easier. Wait, don't jinx myself saying that. Just do a triple jump here, get enough height to clip out. And with enough speed, I should just be able to go right through this fence.
Yeah, because so you're basically just doing it right as the elevator comes up. You can land with enough time to BLJ between the elevator and the...
So
wall.
if you long jump far enough, then that gives you enough time to build up backward speed on the elevator. And as long as you do it at the right time, then you'll just you'll start BLJing into the corner of the platform, so that you'll just you'll get stuck there, and you'll just be building up a bunch of speed.
Interesting how you like
that'll just allow you to
skip over that star, or maybe like you do that twice.
We only do it once. There is another BLJ that we do in another part.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean like you just skipped the star from the Toxic Maze.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, there is another small glitch here that it's not like super crucial that I show it off, but there's a triple jump dive here that I can use to, assuming I get it, it will just put me through the ceiling and gets me to the red point area about 2 seconds faster, but if I don't, then I didn't get it there. There's a lot more ways to break HMC's ceiling, so we'll visit those a bit later. But...
Right. I feel like there's a lot of they just didn't make some walls or ceilings exist in this level. It's like, they're like, it's just black, it's fine. They just think that they're in the middle of like a cave and that's it.
Funny. Finish up 100 coin here. And this is probably one of the more frustrating parts of the run because this blue coin spawn is completely RNG. Thankfully, it was a bit decent there. Unfortunately, that does mean that I do have to get the star as I'm falling from this red coin. Hopefully I can get it. Okay, yeah, probably not. We'll have to do a pretty precise wall kick to get the star here. If I don't, then I can just grab the regular star and get something else later.
Nice. Okay, very good.
I guess that's a bit of a minor glitch there, just ground pounding into stars, and it just makes you land a bit faster.
Yeah, and your height goes a little higher for certain ones that spawn above you, right? When you're doing the ground pound?
Yeah, like normally if I do a tiny jump, I can't reach this star, but if I do a ground pound, then it grabs it.
Cool. Right. We did have a question that says asking just about Wii U Virtual Console and Nintendo Switch Online runs. I think NSO is a little slower, right?
Yeah, so there are way more versions of this game than just Wii VC and N64. There's emulator, which just plays on a PC. Um, that's kind of like the most common way people play the game because not everybody has access to any sort of console. And that's why this game is so popular because it's so easy to get an emulator and just play the game with a keyboard or a third-party controller or something. There's Virtual Console, there's N64. Wii U Virtual Console people do not ever use because although it is faster like Wii Virtual Console, it does have input delay of about half a second, which is pretty rough. I actually did run on Wii U for a little bit, like about 3 years, I think, because I didn't have a Wii at the time. And I got so used to it that going to Wii Virtual Console was actually so difficult because I had to adjust to not having input delay.
Yes.
And then Switch Online is... I assume that's a pretty common way for people to run the game nowadays because it's on such a modern console. That also does have some input delay issues, but it's nowhere near as bad as Wii U. So people can play on it. Then there's the 3D All-Stars version, which people just... I advise to avoid 3D All-Stars completely because it's on the Shindu version of the game, which is the version that gets rid of BLJs and just adds so many weird quirks to the game that make it slower. The loads are insanely slow. They're actually slower than N64.
What?
So people just 3D All-Stars is probably the version you should never touch ever.
Whoa. Also, like you can't download it anymore, so it's not like new people could
it's
get
pretty
it.
much. I mean, if you go to your local Walmart, I'm sure you'll find a physical copy of it. But as far as digital goes,
fair.
It's not going to be there.
Right.
Yeah, those are all the version differences. I usually advise people to either go with VC on Wii, emulator, or N64. Anything else you can just kind of ignore unless it's all you have access to. And now that we're back in HMC, I will be attempting to show off the really big backwards long jump here that gets us to the Toxic Maze Star. It's actually done right here. There's another glitch here where you can kind of push yourself from the elevator, and that just pushes you through a wall and it lands you into the Dory Star. We'll get to that a bit later, but this is an extremely hard BLJ. If I don't get it, then I'll just move on to something else. But you want to line yourself up to this wall here and then do a kick, and that adjusts your camera well enough so that your angle will be set so that you can just hold a certain direction and get enough speed to clip Mario so far away that you can just like clip through a bunch of walls and get straight to the Toxic Maze Star. But you need a ridiculous amount of speed to pull this off. And a lot of it is actually just mashing, like while holding neutral, because you need to get a certain amount of height on the elevator to be able to push yourself through the wall, like the one in the 100 coin star.
Oh, gotcha.
So I will go for it once. If I don't get it, then it's not a big deal. If I do, then hooray.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just have to like redo some stuff you did from.
It's probably not gonna work, but I might get the clip at least. And maybe not. Okay, well. Oh, okay, that worked.
Oh my god!
I was not expecting that to work at all because I took so long a clip. I'm actually so glad that I pulled that off.
That's awesome. You're like, nah, I don't think it's happening, and then you just totally got it.
Yeah, I was expecting the clip through at some point just because that does happen. Sometimes you get just enough speed to where you do have to do a few BLJs to clip through. I wasn't expecting to keep so much of that speed to the point where I would just get straight to the star. Because normally, if you have enough speed to do it, it happens immediately. So normally doing it after 5 air BLJs would not work. So I'm very glad I was able to show that off.
Yes, agreed.
Let's talk to Toad here, because he's cool and he gives us a free star, so why not?
Like,
yeah.
So
now we'll go back to some. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. It's just a quick thing about toads is that I only learned recently that toads only spawn after certain amounts of stars. So it's like 10, 25, and 35 or something like that.
So the one in HMC only spawns after 12 stars.
12.
I am not exactly sure the star counts for the other toads. I think you are right about the one in upstairs being 25, and then the final one is about 35, somewhere around that range.
Yeah.
Yeah, toads are weird, but usually by the time you get to them, they're already spawned. You have no stars, so.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, that was probably the most insane glitch in Hazy Maze Cave, so I'm very glad I got that. And now we're just going to be showing off how walls do not work in this level,
Yeah.
even without PLJs. So this box here, if you hit it, I think it gives you like a 1-up or something, but we're actually going to be doing a triple jump on top of it that gives us so much height that we just go right through the ceiling and land right where Dory is, in the lake area.
Dory.
Yeah, everybody loves Dory, so...
You're a friendly giant.
Yeah, doing it. There's so many glitches in this where like doing them while moving is a lot easier than doing them after explaining them. But right there, I just clicked right through the ceiling.
Oh. You're already on the island for that star.
Yeah, I came from all the way up there. I believe if you look around, you can actually see stuff in the level.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just kind of stuck in the void there.
Dude, they just didn't care about ceilings in this level.
Yeah, you can actually see a door as well. There's a lot of unfinished stuff in HMC. And here's Dory, everybody's favorite. Get the star there. There is one more thing that I can show off. So there's another star in Dory's lake area where you need the metal cap usually to walk underwater and hit a switch to unlock a cage. But if you actually have enough height, you can... This will actually give me another opportunity to show off another wall flip, which is another way to get to Dory. It's not as difficult as the box triple, so you can just fall down here and then wait for this elevator. And if we push up against this wall, it will just make us fall right through.
Huh.
That's the more beginner-friendly method of getting this star.
Cool.
Yeah, this is the switch that we need to hit to unlock this cage. And this is where a glitch called Christmas Miracle comes in. Usually, what you normally would do is triple jump wall kick off of a wall that that door that I went through to clip into this room. You do a triple jump wall kick off the top floor, and you have enough height to where you can just slam down the switch through the water. But thankfully, if you mess that up, there is a backup, which I'll just be doing here. Where you just double jump wall kick, or double jump here, and then at the peak of your height, you just do a kick, and you'll land on top of the switch from having so much height. So, just like that. And then the cage opens, and you can just go straight to the star. Just do a few long jumps here. Alright, that's pretty much it for Hazy Maze Cave.
It's just a broken level in general.
Yeah, very broken level. And now, look who's here. This guy. Everybody's favorite rabbit, Mips. And I'm sure if you've seen 16-star runs, you kind of get the idea of what we're about to do here with this guy. Chase him down and catch him. And instead of getting a star here, we're actually going to pick him up again and walk up to this door. And this is another very, very iconic glitch, Mips clip. This allows us to do the 16-star speedrun in the first place by getting 15 stars to unlock Mips, and then do Dire Dire Doc's ship star to get the 16th, and then just go straight to the end of the game. So basically how Mips clip works is if you put Mips down in a very specific part, like about right where his shadow goes away, Mario will phase through the door like that.
And that's it.
Yes, and Mips gets stuck on the other side, so you do have to pick him back up. So if you do it while holding forward, Mario will just kind of get stuck in this in-between space in the door.
Is that a soft lock?
No, you can move and get Mario out of the door.
Oh, okay.
And then after Mario gets stuck in there, that's our opportunity to grab Mips and actually take him with us through the door. So we need to set it up again.
Oh.
This sub can be a bit finicky at times. It's nowhere near as simple as the other one where you just need to push Mario through. Because for this one, you need to get Mips as well. So
yeah, you have to grab him through the other side. Okay.
Yeah, now that we have him, you literally just hold down and jump, and that will push Mario out the door with Mips. Now that we're here, we can just go straight up to the 30-star door and do the exact same thing. And it should put Mario through the other side. You can actually see my shadow here. Come on now, come on, Mips, work with me.
Oh, I see the shadow going away. Okay. So that's like the main.
Yeah, and just
Oh,
like
there it
that,
is, yeah.
Mips pushes Mario through the door. And there is another BLJ here that I will at least attempt to show off. If it takes me too long, then we might just move on.
Okay.
But for now, we're gonna get the star and Dire Docks just to unlock Fire Sea.
Okay. I have a quick newbie question. For those who are attempting, they're like, "Oh my gosh, it takes me so long to get MIPS." What's like your biggest tip for catching MIPS quickly?
So if you don't catch him immediately and you chase him into the corner where there's a corner where a toad is sitting and he doesn't give you a star, you can just talk to him. But Mips will sit there in the same spot every single time. And as you can see here, there's no lag on the subs. This is a big part of what makes Virtual Console faster. And I can actually see if I can, because I didn't get Mips' star, so I could probably just go back and catch him again, just to kind of show how it works. Because there is a setup to get him every single time. Just trying to go back in DD and leave the level, so we can, because since this is a 30-star door, we do need 30 stars to leave as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and show off the easy way to get Mips. He should still be here. I do need to lure him into the right area, though, so I'm gonna have to do some maneuvering here. Because once he sees you, he just starts
going.
Yeah, he starts going. So, normally you'd come from here, and then you chase him all the way over here. Can't get him. And he gets stuck in this corner here. And pretty much the safest way to get him is to do a side flip dive, like this. And if you move forward enough, it'll actually trigger him to start running. And he always moves in the same pattern, so he'll just go right into your arms. Like that.
Oh, so you just slide down the ledge. Slide down.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Alright.
There you go.
I will take Mips with me to the 30-star door location in case the PLJ takes too long. Because it's another one of the hardest tricks in the game.
This is
this
for
is a trick that
this is for like the 0-1 star category.
Yeah,
right?
this is for 0 and 1 star. It's actually banned for 16 because pretty much how all the short categories work is they were all any percent at one point until something new got found, and it just kind of made them obsolete. So people just renamed them to 16 star, 1 star, or something like that. Like 70 star was considered any percent for a long time, and then Mips Clip got found, and then 16 star became any percent. And then this got found, which completely got rid of needing Mips.
Right. Okay.
So I'll at least try to show off the setup for it. This is a much smaller window to get the backwards long jump than LBLJ was, which is the one to get into Bowser in the Dark World. If you align Mario's foot like right here to where his left foot is kind of just disappeared into the stairs, and you zoom out, and you push him up here until he's kind of like this. You do a long jump and then hold backwards, and then right as you land, you switch to up left. Is a very complicated trick to explain because it's just so many steps at once. And if you do it at the right time and you start mashing right as you land, then you'll buffer Mario on the stairs, and you can just get enough speed to where you just clip through the door and get straight to either Dire Docks, or if your speed is insane enough, you'll completely skip DDD and go straight to Fire Sea, which is how 0 star happens. I've never done DDD skip, so I'm not even gonna bother with that one, but I will try to get the 1 star method. Okay, yeah. As you can see, I actually did get some BLJs there, but it does need to be like insanely precise.
Yeah.
You literally cannot mess anything up here. Yeah, sometimes he just doesn't get caught at all, and you just do a single long jump there. You have to set it all up again. Yeah, and sometimes you'll get caught on the fence like that.
Sure. Yeah,
there's
feel
so
free
many
to take a
different
few
ways
tries.
to mess up.
We've got time. Oh, it seems so precise.
Yeah.
This is what happens with a game that is this popular and optimized. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, I believe 360 Chrism actually did end up getting 0-star at SGDQ 2015.
Yeah,
One of the most iconic Mario 64 runs at GDQ, in my opinion, because the setup needed to get enough speed to skip DDD is like twice as hard as just doing this BLJ by itself.
sure.
So the fact that he got that in front of hundreds of thousands of people is just legendary.
Yeah, I agree. Chris is a goof, but he's pretty darn good.
Yeah. He's the reason I even started playing Mario, so
That's awesome. What a guy.
yeah, I'm not as big of a fan of 1 star as he is, though.
Yeah.
I did a few runs in this category, and I was like, this trick is so stupid, I'm just gonna move on to the 1
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even he's
getting
kind of
hooked
like
on
put that on the back burner and is doing more like Power Star Pathways and 100,000 coins.
Yeah,
all
randomizer
kinds of stuff.
is extremely popular
Yeah.
these days. Oh, I got all the speed there, but I didn't get through the door. So
Right.
the hard part about the 1 star setup is as you jump off the tip of the stairs, you have to hold right so you don't get caught in the pillar. But that also gives you a chance to clip the fence and just lose all your speed. So. The amount of times I have gotten to this trick and gotten the BLJ but clipped on the fence is too many. It happens so many times. Very, very common reset point for 1-star runs. And stuff like this is what makes this game so good for other things like bingo, because you can literally just beat the game whenever you want by doing tricks like this and Nips Clip. So you can beat the game with like 20 stars, you can beat it with 30, or just go all the way to 70. That's what makes it such a versatile speed game.
Yeah. And why randomizer became really viable on it and fun too.
Yeah, I believe randomizer actually does require you to have 70 stars to even beat the game, because normally on vanilla, even if you don't have 70 stars, it lets you through the final door. It's just the staircase is endless, but you can skip that with a backwards long jump, which we'll show. It's like the most iconic one in the game.
Right. Sure is.
But on randomizer, it completely blocks you from going through the door without 70, so. Okay, I'll give it a few more tries. I did at least get to show me getting the speed. It's just I got blocked by either the fence or a wall. Oh, there we go. That is SPLJ right there. Oh God, I'm so happy. the fact that I got the Toxic Maze one in HMC and this is very, very relieving. Like, you have no idea. I was very concerned that I'd be stuck on this for a while.
Yay!
Because when this got scheduled, I was like, do I want to show this off, or will I just look like a fool trying to do it forever? So I'm very glad that I got to do both of them.
I knew. I had total faith. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Alright, now that we're entering Fire Sea here, there's actually another glitch that we can go for. This one is nowhere near as hard as SPLJ, thankfully. Probably not going to get it here. I'm just going to go for it. So, there's some warps, whether they're up or down, that can be done in this game. I'm sure everybody knows about the infamous TikTok clock up warp that was caused by some ion particle attacking somebody's N64 or some crazy stuff like that that has like a $1,000 bounty on it to be replicated. There's so many conspiracy theories on why that one works, but thankfully this one is not the same. The pole in Fire Sea is pretty wonky because this little part right here, this little cog that's connected to the pole, if you land on it in a very specific part of your jump, you'll just upwarp straight to the ceiling because it thinks that because I can actually go up to show off why this even works. So this ceiling right here is a hangable ceiling. You can actually get Mario to just like, might not be this part specifically. Yeah, okay, so you can kind of see Mario climbs on it like monkey bars. If for some reason, if you land in a certain spot of the pole, being this part right here, the game will think Mario is attached to the ceiling, and it will just put you up there. So this might take a few tries, but hopefully not as much as SPLJ did. Yeah, and just like that, Mario just goes straight up to the ceiling and he's on the pole. And that is the fastest way to do Bowser in the Fire Sea without getting the red coins. There is a fast cycle that you can make without pole glitch, thankfully, so it's a bit safer, but obviously the fastest cycle that you can make is with pole glitch. That's what people at the top level go for in like any category that's not 70 or 120 where it's faster to get the reds.
Right.
And right here we can just long jump on the edge here and skip this whole ending section. This isn't really a glitch, it's just more of a cheese strat to get straight to the end.
Would oh nice, and then you just go down that way. Yeah, I guess you never see that because you usually see people like collecting reds or doing other things along the way.
And Bowser here tilts the stage. And there is actually a glitch with Bowser that will show off once we get to the very end. That involves throwing him at the bombs and catching him at weird times, but
you mean...
we'll get to that when we get to Bowser in the Sky, at the very end of the run, so that's not going to be for a while.
You mean Slingshot Bowser?
Yes. Slingshot
I know
Bowser.
somebody who loves Slingshot Bowser.
No, this is not going to be the full 120. There's not really going to be a set star count that we go for. It's mostly just going to be a glitch exhibition, but that's, like I said earlier, that's kind of the beauty of this game, is I can literally just say, okay, we're done, and I'm just going to go beat the game.
Right.
So,
super fun.
Alright, now that we exited the level, it conveniently puts us right back in the lobby where the wing cap is.
Wing cap!
You just look straight up into the sky here. I actually do not need to get any more extra stars, but just for the sake of time, I will just get some along the way, like these reds here. And, I mean, getting the reds is the only way to really get this glitch to work. So you spawn the star, and normally when you hit this switch that's very reminiscent of the exclamation mark switches from Super Mario World, it tells you, like, oh, you unlock the wing cap, just hit this box to get the wing cap or whatever. If you hit it, and you actually have way more time than you might think to jump off of it and grab the star. If you grab the star without touching the ground after hitting the switch, it completely skips the text, so it's a pretty minor thing, but just like that, there's no text. Probably one of the easier things to do in the run, and there's actually another one for Vanish Cap that I can show off that is way more infamous than the Wing Cap one. It's the Siglemic one. I'm sure everybody knows about that.
Yeah. I guess I never thought about, like, watching runs, I've never thought about the fact that they hit the button and get the star, and I never think about the text. So I don't even, like, think about / realize that it's, like, that you've skipped it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the text, if you miss it, it, like, hardly loses time as well, so you don't really think about it at all.
Yeah.
And as chat points out, much easier than the yumps in Super Mario World. I've seen those, and people pop off for those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's do this next cap, and then why don't we we'll take a quick break after that before we get into the next section of the game.
All right, sure thing. Yeah, it's another one where I do have to get the red coins here. Okay, yeah, and this is a nice other glitch this game wants to throw you. It's called invisible walls.
Yeah.
This game is full of them. So that's a glitch we do not want to show off, hopefully.
Yeah, it's not an intentional glitch on our end.
Just make our way through it, the Vanish Cap sub area here. And I do only have one shot at this, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to do a wall kick off this, and then double jump up to the switch, and do a triple jump, wall jump, dive into the star, and completely skip this whole cage section. And if I have enough height, I will land right in the star, and Siglemic will appear and grant us his power or something. I think that's how it works. That's the lore.
Okay, I'm ready. The lore.
Siglemic! And there it is.
The lore, chat. The lore!
Yeah, that's the two major cap text skips. Metal cap, you actually don't need the metal cap for like any of the stars in this game if you're good enough at swimming. So we're not even gonna bother going there. So.
It's only if you're doing like 120.
Right before going upstairs, this will be the break, I assume.
Perfect. Yes, exactly. Perfect. Perfect. I hope you all are enjoying so far. I know I am absolutely enjoying our time here on Hotfix. This is so fun. And, just hearing a little bit more about Mario 64. Like, I know a lot of us know a lot about it already or have just seen a ton of runs. But, hopefully this is cool to just, hear a little bit more about how things work, different variations, etc. as we go along. So I'm loving it. Also, just so you know, while we're on break, you can always check out the Flame Fatale schedule because that's coming up August 13th to 20th. I'm so excited about it. Doing all of our interviewee, interstitially things. It's going to be super fun. And GDQ's hiring. So go to gamesdonquick.com to learn some more. And with that, we will be right back. Alrighty, and we are back with more Out of Bounds. Hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, I am Kungfufruitcup, and tonight we are joined once again by Oddme, who's been showing off the glitches and other cool strats that you may have seen, maybe not, in Mario 64, which, we all know and love Mario 64. So it's super cool to be able to learn more about how the glitches work in this game, like how they're actually set up, how you can actually do them yourselves, etc. So when you see all these BLJs and other clips and things, you can even maybe try them yourself. Some of them are pretty beginner friendly and some are not because this game is so broken and has so many people running it. So anyway, Oddme, I'm going to hand it back to you. Feel free to count us back in and show us the next whole section of the game that we have to check out.
All right. Mario's sleeping on the job, so I'm going to wake him up when we start. So 3, 2, 1, go. Wake up. Okay. So we're going straight into upstairs here, which is where things get a bit more difficult in terms of the actual run itself. Right away, there's actually a really quick glitch we can do here. Normally, we have to run up these spiral stairs to get to the official start of the upstairs floor, but we can literally just double jump up, and Mario will just clip through the ceiling like that. Very neat little thing there.
Just a quick skip, a little quick one.
Wet Dry World doesn't really have much to show off in terms of glitches, so Tiny Huge Island will be our first visit of upstairs. So another little ceiling flip we can do here, just by running up here and then doing a side flip, will allow Mario to just clip right through the ceiling and instant ledge grab, which defeats a whole section of having to walk around the tiny island and get up to the top. So just do that, and he's already through. And now probably the biggest glitch in Tiny Huge Island is Wiggler Clip, which is a way to get inside the Wiggler's den and fight him without having to do the whole process of ground pounding this area, and then go to the big island and climb all the way to the top and get inside his den. So we're not gonna flood this home. We're just gonna go inside. So get up here, and then there are multiple ways of doing this. There is a way of doing it where you just make the Chuckya come over here, and then you throw him, and it pushes you back. But that's slow, so we're just gonna get rid of this guy. And the way that most people do it is this little part of the mountain here. If you dive into it at a pretty precise time, you'll just go right through and warp to the top. Because the way water works in this game is, if you enter a body of water from an out of bounds area, then it basically just assumes you're on the surface and it warps you straight to the top. And then it will put you inside the mountain, so we can just swim straight to where the loading zone is, because it's right in the center. We can't just go straight in. So if we have enough speed to just do a dive into this part of the mountain, then I should clip in and we'll be able to swim in and just fight Wiggler. Like that. So now we're inside the mountain here. You can see Mario barely poking out the top.
Whoa.
And then, don't really think I can get a good visual of it, but we're kind of near the center. And then, once the camera kind of starts shaking like that, that means we're in. And once we swim far enough down, we'll just be inside the Wiggler den, and we can just fight him.
Oh, that's cool.
You can see the red coins down there, which we won't be getting because there's not really any glitches down there we can do. That's actually pretty much it for Tiny Huge Island. That's the one major thing we can do here. Upstairs is not really full of huge glitches. Just lots of Just lots of really tough movement stuff. But Tall Mountain does have a handful of things that we can do. Like another mountain clip, which is something we do about 3 times in 120 star, because
Yeah.
there are 3 stars near the top of the mountain. So right as we enter, don't really think much of that little slope right there, but we can actually clip through it by long jumping off of this part right here, and then just doing a jump dive at a certain height when we're running up the slope. And that will do the same thing that happened in a Tiny Huge Island that just warps us to the top of this little section here with the fly guy and the monkey. And then that'll get us as close to the top of the mountain as we can get without having to do any actual movement. So just do a jump dive there, and it puts us up here immediately. And then it kind of stuck underneath the ground, and we can just jump to get out. And you do that multiple times, so there is another glitch that I want to show off, but to do that I do need to get the top of the mountain star to spawn the monkey cage. I'm gonna do some bit more flashy movement here, just to get to the top, because why not?
Lots of jump kicks and things.
Yeah, kicking up slopes is a pretty broken mechanic in this game, because unless the slope is just so steep that it's almost like straight down, you can pretty much just hold A and smash the B button to kick up any slope you want. Right, do mountain clip once again. And this is a much bigger glitch in Tall Mountain than the mountain clip for this star in particular, because for this star, the monkey cage star, normally what happens is you get to the top of the mountain, you chase around the monkey, and then once you free him, he'll repay you by walking all the way around the mountain, like in this little area here. You have to wait for him to come all the way down, he's very slow, then he knocks the star down for you to grab out of the monkey cage. But if you grab him on this little slope here, and then you say free him, where's he going? Okay, well for some reason I must have freed him, so I'm gonna get a different star and come back. But essentially what was supposed to happen there is Mario won't actually set him free. You'll just be able to carry him around. And then basically what happens when I do that is if I jump to a certain spot off the corner of the top of the mountain, and then I do a ground pound, that kind of just puts the monkey in a state of, like, just being at the very end of that auto-scroller. Did not work the way I wanted to.
Oh.
Yeah, that can happen.
Wow.
Sometimes you'll just die if you fall far enough in the out-of-bounds section, so another accidental glitch right there, I guess. Once I get to the top, I'll be able to show off the monkey glitch in full. I think the spot where you grab the monkey needs to be like very specific, so that part of the slope was not good enough to trigger the glitch. That just ended up setting him free for whatever reason. So I'm gonna try to do it more in one fell swoop here. Okay, now we can carry him around, and if I jump here and then ground pound, that just puts him right here at the end of his auto-scroller. And you don't have to wait for him to come all the way down the mountain, and you can just talk to him immediately, and he sets the star free for you. A glitch that's only exclusive to 120 star because the monkey is just slow no matter what you're doing, whether you do the glitch or not.
Right. How is that clipping so consistent? Which one? There were like 3 right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of clips.
Yeah, how do you keep a lot of these consistent?
A lot of it is literally just the fact that they look a lot harder than they actually are.
Sure.
Like that mountain clip there, you just like hold the control stick in like 2 directions that are like just notches on your control stick. So if you do that just at the right timing, then I don't want to say it just works, but I mean, as kind of the gist of it is if you just press the buttons at the right time and hold certain angles, then clips are a lot easier than you might think. Gotcha. It's not like Ocarina of Time where you have to do like some crazy setups to do some glitches and skip like half the game. These ones are very beginner friendly, like this backwards long jump here, which allows us to skip the 50 star door. That might not work because my speed might have gotten Yeah, I think I got rid of my speed there, so I do have to try again. But yeah, this is where like the 16-star BLJs come in that like pretty much everybody learns. Very easy one right there. Just allows us to skip the 50-star door there. That's like one step of many to be in game with 16 stars. But we're not going to go to the end of the stairs quite yet. I guess I can just enter Rainbow Ride just to do the obligatory carpetless explanation.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, might as well talk about it at least. We've got the time.
There's a cool trick here that I'll try to do called Lakitu Bounce. If I do a wall jump here and bounce off Lakitu, it gives me enough height to get on this slope. And yeah, I fell off there because I was trying to explain how poles worked as I was doing it, so I kind of messed up there. But I can get back to that a bit later. So once I get to the cruiser, I can kind of explain how carpetless even came into existence. Just have to get there. It's probably one of the hardest stars most beginner 70 runners have trouble learning. That long jump right there is pretty tough. So, carpetless. Previously thought to be task only. It is possible RTA now, but it's still so insanely difficult that people just will never do it in runs unless some very easy setup gets found. That's way more consistent, but pretty much how it works is it involves more backwards momentum with the bomb. In particular, this bomb right here on the cruiser. If you grab the bomb and do the same thing that you do for like bomb flip or pillarless, and you do some ground pounds off of all this stuff and carry your backwards momentum, I actually try and go to where we end up. I just have to get there first. Okay, you take the bomb all the way over here while you're moving backwards, and there's actually a warp here. If you stand perfectly still, it just warps Mario to the big house in the sky. You need to actually find the spot. There it is.
There.
And it takes you here, and the way warps work with bombs, I'll actually be showing this off a bit later, towards the end, in Ball on Battlefield. If you carry a bomb into a warp while you are still moving backwards, then it keeps your backwards momentum without having a bomb with you, so you'll just be able to do some really crazy side flips and like wall jump up on these things. You can actually get up here without a bomb. And you do something called the Glitchy wall kick, which allows Mario to wall kick in the same direction that he was facing instead of kind of going backwards and having to align yourself. Oh. And the reason this is so tough is because of the ending. You have to do 2 glitchy wall kicks in a row off of this side of the mansion here. And if you do that just right, you'll clip through the roof and you'll be able to ground pound and kind of get up to where the star is. But it's so precise and difficult that just nobody is even going to think of doing it in runs. Like, even people who grind the single star ILs, I believe Taylor Swift Simp has the IL for, the IL record for carpetless, with about like 50-ish seconds. They took many, many hours. I'm actually surprised I lived that long jump. My camera's very messed up here. I'm gonna try to get a star like this. Yeah, this is kind of how Mario 64's camera can get revenge on you. Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it does this.
Oh my gosh.
Where you're going. Thankfully, we do have Mario Cam to kind of help with this, but we can't really zoom out. This happens if you leave the big house in the sky. You're just kind of stuck like this, and you have to do your best to work with it. Yeah, I'm dead.
For the rest of the level.
Yeah. Thankfully, it does reset once you either die or get a star. Trying to think of anything else that I could possibly show off in Tippy. This is the problem with Mario 64 is once you kind of get towards the end of the game, it actually gets less frequent with the glitches and stuff.
Right.
So I guess I can go back to Ball on Battlefield and show off that glitch I was referring to earlier with.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm also thinking of like I was gonna say like TTC is like just move. It's like pure movement. There's not really a lot that you do there.
Well, actually, I completely forgot JRB existed because there is a few clips there that we can show off.
Yes.
The reason I got about JRB is just because it's such an early level in 120 star that people just kind of write it off as being super boring, and we don't do it
Yeah.
at all in 70. So there's a lot of glitches here. One of the most infamous is a glitch called frame walk,
Okay.
which how frame walk works is if you try to walk up this pillar here, obviously Mario would. It's just too steep. You can't even kick up it. Otherwise, he
Yeah.
just gets right back down. And frame walk is a very situational trick. It only really works here and like one other place that people just don't do. This one just recently became like something people started doing in runs. When you're walking up a slope as steep as this one, if you flick the control stick up very fast, Mario will continue to walk up the slope very slowly. And I will try to show this one off to get to the star that normally requires you to use the cannon to get it. There is another setup you can do that gets it without the cannon that involves long jumping off the ship once you've raised it, but frame walk looks cooler and is faster, so I will try as many times as I can to get it. And
Okay.
the reason it's so weird is because I actually have to hold my controller upside down for this, because it's very hard to flick the control stick up very fast like this. So I actually just hold it upside down and like use multiple fingers to do it. So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah, you have to be extremely quick. Yeah, sometimes Mario will just not move at all, so you have to kind of readjust yourself to make it work. It is very weird.
Huh. Oh.
It's also very tiring. You couldn't tell.
Sure.
Because having to flick the control stick that many times is not fun. Yeah, if I can't get it, then there is an alternate setup you can do
Okay.
that I also do have some trouble with, but it's not as bad as the normal setup where you walk all the way to the top. But you basically just have to walk up the side a little bit and wall jump off of this wall here to get to the star. But I will try a few more times to get the longer setup. It is a very inconsistent trick. People do go for it in runs, but only if the run is like really bad, since it's so early on. It is a pretty heavy reset point these days. Yeah. If I can't get it, then it's whatever. But I'm able to at least show off how the frame walk itself works, instead of doing it all the way. Yeah, it is a very precise one. So I think we'll just move on to another glitch in JRB, which is ship clip. So to get into this ship, obviously people are very familiar with this very terrifying eel.
Mm-hmm.
So you usually have to get close to him and then swim away for a bit, and then he'll actually just pop out and you can just go straight into the ship. But if you get up to this corner here, this might not work considering my camera is a bit messed up. Get into this corner here and swim for a bit, Mario should be able to just clip right into the ship. And
More air.
even though the eel is there, the loading zone for the inside of the ship still exists. So you can just swim right in. This doesn't work, I'll have to get some coins and come back because you are on a timer when you're underwater.
Oh, there. Oh.
Yeah, the eel killed me as I entered the loading zone.
Oh
because,
no!
Because yeah, and you drown as soon as you enter the ship. I only had 3 health there, and the eel does immense damage if you get hit by him, sadly, so he did kill me as I entered the loading zone, but now that I'm back to the starting point, I should be able to do it in one full motion without getting hit. And the eel can be a very mean part of this clip, because he still does have a hitbox, even though he's inside the ship. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
It's inside the ship. I can just drain it here without any damage from the eel. Chests are another odd part of this. I wouldn't really say this is a glitch, more so than just like a little exploit of Mario's swimming. No matter what direction you're facing when you open a chest, as long as you are facing like close enough to the front of the chest, then Mario will just always open it. So you don't have to be like super precise when swimming towards them. Yeah, that's not the only clip in JRB. There is a trick that can get us to the ocean cave where the 4 chests on the ground are.
Right.
So instead of swimming all the way down to get into the cave, if you just punch underwater like this as you get close to a wall, Mario will just completely zip to the bottom and will get straight into where that cave is. There's a similar glitch in Dire Dire Docks called Chip Clip because a runner named Chip found it. Although it is way harder than the one in JRB. Like I just punch against that wall there, and Mario just instantly warps down here.
Oh, nice. Do we want to try Chip Clip? Okay.
I could try Chip Clip, but it is a very, very precise setup. So
yeah, I mean we can see at least like where it's set up, etc.
The chests here. I guess before we go down there, since I'm in the lobby, I can show off the ball on battlefield glitch.
Yeah.
That doesn't really. This glitch actually doesn't do anything. In fact, if you're on N64, it actually crashes your game if you do a certain thing with it.
Ooh.
I wish I could show that off, but Virtual Console does not crash if you do this glitch. So I can only show off the cool part of it without actually crashing the game. I believe VC actually patched every single crash that could happen. Like there's one on the file select that you can do to crash the game in like 20 seconds. That does not work on VEC. So this bomb here, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with bomb clip, which is just grab them, and then once I have to do this while pausing because the bomb will just explode. Once I grab him and I have my momentum, if I crouch, then I can just side flip dive into the bomb and make him last longer, without him blowing up immediately. And then if I just keep the bomb alive by jumping on the slope and take long enough to get into a warp, then I can go back inside the warp twice. And it's a lot more simple when you see it rather than the explanation. So I'm just going to do this and then grab him. Okay, yeah, he exploded there. This is a... not really precise, it's just weird timing because the bomb will just explode whenever he wants. Yeah, as you can see, bombs work very weird when you're just moving around with them like that. And you have to go pretty far away to respawn them, so... The annoying part of this is the water bubbles.
The water bubbles.
Just explode in your face whenever you want, like that, and just kill the bomb, so... I will have to go back a few times to respawn the bomb. Alright. Okay, come on. I do have multiple bombs here, so I can give it a few tries before I have to start respawning them. Okay, let's try not to die.
Right.
These are the most frustrating things about on Battlefield is the bubbles.
Oh my gosh.
They're just everywhere. Yeah, get some reds here so I do not succumb to the water bubbles. Yeah, basically how this works is I'm gonna enter this warp point here, and then once I go back, assuming I actually end up getting this, I will try to show it off as much as I can. Just go until I get it, basically. Yeah, see that's why you need to do the crouch to kind of get the bomb in a different state, because if you just try to get on the slope normally, then he does not do that. Yeah, and you have to do it without setting the bomb off. This is probably one of the hardest glitches to actually start, because the bombs and the water bubbles are just so annoying.
They're so annoying.
Okay, now we're on the slope. I just have to make sure to actually get into the warp, which is probably the hardest part, because the way warps work is they don't trigger unless Mario is standing perfectly still, and when you have backwards momentum with a bomb, it is very difficult. Okay.
Oh, nice, okay.
And now nothing happens until I get back in the warp. And then once that happens, you see smoke is coming out of Mario.
Oh, yes!
I'm barely even touching the control stick and he's moving backwards.
Okay.
And you can basically just mess around like this. You can moonwalk everywhere and, like,
whoa.
trigger these poles. Yeah, totally useless because getting the backwards momentum, the setup is just not worth it for, like, a very tiny amount of extra speed.
Right, of course. But it's really cool because, I mean, you would never see it because it's never in a run.
Yeah,
That's pretty
and
cool.
I can show off the place where you do crash the game with this.
Uh-huh.
So this little bridge here, if you grab under it on N64, like right about here, as you can see on VC, he just kind of slides backwards. If you are on N64, as soon as you grab that, it just ends up crashing the game, which is very odd. Nobody really knows why it happens, but it's just a great testament to how well the N64 is aged.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think there is a way to do the instant death glitch that happened on top of the castle in Bottom Battlefield. I can see if I can do it here by setting up a BLJ.
Uh-huh.
Maybe, yeah, backwards momentum is so bizarre here. Let's see. I believe, because I actually did end up doing this earlier today while preparing some of the glitches for this. Yeah, it might have been over here somewhere. Yeah, as you can see, he just has a lot of trouble getting up slopes.
Oh, wow, weird.
Yeah, maybe we won't be able to get the instant death, but this is pretty much a soft lock until you press B. Like you can't move out of the backwards momentum until you press B because it just gives you the bomb back.
Oh, gotcha. So wait, so maybe I missed this, but what's the reason it crashes on N64?
I don't think anybody knows actually. Like, it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, they just limitations of the console at the time that they fixed later on in VC, I guess. But yeah, I have the bomb now. Just kind of run around with him, and then he blows up. And I lose all my backwards momentum. And yeah, that's pretty much the bomb glitch that is used for carpetless. Here it's not useful at all, but in Rainbow Ride it is used for carpetless, but it's just such a precise setup that nobody's gonna do it for a very, very long time, if ever. I'm sure somebody will come up with like a route that goes to Rainbow Ride super early and does carpetless, and then comes back and does the rest of the game. But that's something to be saved for 10 years down the line, maybe.
Yeah, right.
King of Bombs here. We're not gonna fight him though. Yeah, I guess I can go back down to Dire Dire Docks and try to show off Chip Clip. It's pretty much one of those other things that's like a one attempt type trick, and if you mess it up, then you just kind of have to deal with it.
I'm trying to think of stuff. Is there anything in Big Boo's Haunt? Because I feel like I have seen.
I think there are some minor things, like you can clip through the doors in the first star.
Sure.
I'm not gonna bother with this. I'm just gonna get nips.
That sounds good.
You can kind of clip through the doors and in the first star where you have to hunt down all the ghosts. That's kind of it almost feels random kind of, so it's kind of hard to show that off. Yeah, I think after DDD, there's not really going to be much left unless we go straight to Bowser in the Sky and show off the Endless Staircase BLJ and also Slingshot Bowser.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, probably the most fun things in this game.
And the slide shortcut we could do.
Oh yeah, slide shortcut as well.
Yeah.
Go to DD here. And so how Chip Clip works is it's pretty much the same concept as the one in Jolly Roger Bag. But like the spot that you have to punch underwater is so precise that like you need a very specific visual cue to make it work. I will try to at least show off where it is. It's about like on this slope here. You punch like right about here. You should be able to clip. Of course, it didn't work there because I just kind of do it on a whim. And it's probably one of the most like highest risk, lowest reward tricks in the game.
Sure.
I believe it saves about like 0.8 each time you do it, but you lose about 6 seconds every time you mess it up. So
Gotcha.
it's very, very scary trick to do super late in the run.
Yeah.
But there are people that do go for it because 120 star is just getting to that point where people have to go for super precise, like
for everything. You
micro
have to.
time saves.
Yeah, literally every frame is starting to count.
Alright, so this is Peach's secret slide here. Normally there's 2 stars they have to get here, one for just beating the slide and then one for getting in under 21 seconds. And the under 21 is actually pretty difficult for some people on their first playthroughs. There is a small shortcut you can do to kind of skip like the little U-turn part of the slide, but that saves about like 5 seconds-ish over normal 21. Like you finish in about 16 seconds if you do that. But the big skip that we want to do involves bouncing off of a wall to make Mario turn the other way while he's sliding. And if you bounce off another wall and jump, you can skip the entire slide and finish in like 12 or 13 seconds. So try to shut it off here. So
Cool.
you want to bounce off this wall here to make Mario move backwards. Then bounce off of this and just jump off the slide. And if I dive here, then I'll just get right to the end of the slide. And
Perfect.
yeah, 13. Normally people get around like the OG meme when Siglemic was still running was 12.9 reset, because people would get like 12.6 or 7 or 8, and people consider 12.9 just bad, I guess.
Gotcha.
But yeah, under 13 is usually what you want to shoot for when you're going for that skip. Yeah, I believe that is pretty much everything that I wanted to cover, except for the stuff at the very end.
We got everything outside as well.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Think of anything else? Anything else in?
There is a small BLJ in Wet Dry World that's completely useless, but I can't shut it off.
Okay. It's like, dude, anything that's goofy as well, like stuff that like we wouldn't see in a run, I think would be fun to shot here. If there's anything else you can think of.
So yeah, stairs are not the only spot in this game where you can do backwards long jumps. You can also just do them on certain slopes like this one. This is kind of a rare.
In a similar
this is
way.
kind of a rare occasion. Because most slopes in the game are just like too steep to do backwards long jumps. Thankfully, this is kind of an exception. So this one's like super easy. You just do a long jump and then mash A, and then Mario just kind of goes flying there. The Lethal Lava Land BLJ is way too inconsistent to show off. It's harder than Toxic Maze and SBLJ, so I'm gonna be skipping that one. I think there might actually be, if I recall correctly, there is a way to just skip straight to the town from here by using this Chuckya and throwing him into a corner. It might be the lower ground, and that's a bit precise to set up, but I could try doing it here and see what happens.
Sure. Yeah.
Over here. Come on, man. I don't know what he's doing. I guess I'm just gonna take the very slow walk with him. I'm gonna carry him with me.
Here we go. That's alright.
Yeah, carrying Chuckyas makes Mario move like half his speed, yet he can throw Bowser like it's no problem. Yeah, Chuckyas, every time you throw one, it actually pushes Mario backwards a little bit, unlike normal bombs. So that can be used to kind of clip your walls. Do not think it will work here. Yeah. So if you can get the Chuckya to actually like fall down with you to this lower area and grab him before he explodes, you can kind of push him into this corner here. And if you throw him right about here, then Mario will just fall down to the town below Wet Dry World. You won't have to go
right
to the
below here.
Yes, it is. And it's actually a completely different loading zone as well, because like the town is not loaded right now. But there is actually a way we can get there without swimming at the top level by using this slope here. Just do a jump and then dive, and he'll just get right in the cage. And I believe there is kind of a sign that it changes. If you look like pretty closely, the game will like lag a bit, and the music changes to be more ambient, and that kind of tells you that you're in the town. And on the practice ROM for this game, that allows you to like do save states and stuff
In this section.
If you enter the town and then restart the stage and load a save state, it actually puts you in a really weird state where it just doesn't know what to do. Because now that we're in the town, the rest of Wet Dry World is just gone. Like, it completely just despawns the rest of the level to save, like, memory, I guess. So this is, like, a completely different part of the level, essentially.
Yeah, so, like, you just can't get back no matter what.
Yeah, you pretty much cannot get back. Even if you're on the highest water level, I don't think you can get back, because the cage is just, like, so high up.
Interesting. I guess I never think about it in that direction. And I guess that's for a reason.
Alright. That's it for Dry World. Already did Tiny Huge Island, Salto Mountain. Snowman's Land I don't think has anything in it. You gotta do the BLJ again, you have the tippy floor. Yeah, this one can be inconsistent as well because it is just you have a very limited amount of time to get it. Alright, that works. Yeah, if you get a lot of speed when doing a BLJ, then Mario just keeps a lot of his backwards momentum from it. So yeah, I think that might be it. I can't think of anything else that like even wouldn't be really showing off in a run. Besides stuff at the very end, so it might just be time to go to Bowser in the Sky. So this is probably the most infamous glitch maybe in gaming history. This endless staircase here. If you don't have 70 stars, it plays this very ominous music that is basically just a shepherd's tone, constantly going up. And you cannot get to the top with normal running speed. However, this actually has such a bizarre history to it. I think this BLJ was first, like, known to the public still in the 90s, like not even 5 years after the game came out. It was actually in Nintendo Power magazine that pointed out about the backwards long jump and people getting to the top of the stairs with less than 70 stars. It was discovered so early on in this game's life. So yeah, unlike the 50-star door BLJ, you have as much time as you want to get to the top of this staircase. And if you just do it long enough, then Mario's speed will just get uncapped, and you will just go straight to the top of the stairs. Actually, I might be able to show off a different version of this. If you're really far left and you do this BLJ, Mario will just... okay, I got a full BLJ there, so I'm at the top of the stairs now. But if you are far enough left, Mario will actually cook through the wall and fall into Wet Dry World. It's a bit hard to do intentionally because people just do it on accident all the time because they don't like have their angle set up correctly. So yeah, I could try a little bit to get that because it is.
Oh, the camera just shifted. Will it be on? It won't let you go back up anymore.
Yeah, if you go far down enough, it basically just locks you back into endless.
That's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, let's see here. You do have to like have a really odd angle that makes it a bit hard to actually get the BLJ. So going to Wet Dry World is actually a bit difficult to do intentionally. Everybody always does it on accident. Yeah, that happens too. Sometimes your mash just gets dropped. Okay, well I got to the top again, so you get the idea. If you're far enough left, then Mario just gets to Wet Dry World, and I've seen that kill so many people's runs.
Huh. Wild.
So yeah, now we're in Bowser in the Sky. Probably my favorite. This might actually be my favorite level in the game, the speedrun, just because it's at the end. It's always so intense, and there's lots of cool tricks that you do, like the triple jump wall kick that's coming up right about now. This is a way to completely skip this elevator section here, where you have to ride this moving platform and then climb up a pole.
Right.
If you go to this little section here, you can actually see that the next part of the stage is right above Mario. So you can just the main setup for this, just do a punch and then triple jump up on where this red coin is, and do a wall kick and get up top. So if I can do that here, yeah, just like that, we're up top. Very scary doing that at the end of a run, especially if it's something like 70 star.
Yeah.
That's not done in 120 because you get the red coins. So you do have to go out of your way to get that pole. Alright, and now that we're at the end, the final fight with Bowser, this will be our final glitch showcase of the run.
Okay.
So
this is a short show today, everybody, but that's okay.
Yeah, Mario 64 definitely has a lot of very famous glitches, but in the grand scheme of things, doesn't have like too many of them.
Right.
A lot of it just boils down to doing backwards long jumps everywhere. So this final glitch is called Slingshot Bowser, and normally you just throw him into a bomb and you pick him back up again, and you can re-grab him while he's in the air. And if you miss a throw, and then you re-grab him while he's in the air, this is actually like pretty difficult to pull off. So I'll give it enough tries like until I get it. Not finishing this until I get Slingshot Bowser at least once.
That sounds good.
Um,
I know, this is so fun. If you've never seen this, you all, it's a treat.
okay, I might actually hit the bomb. Yeah. Okay, I need to make sure to not actually defeat Bowser. I need to miss at least one throw. Yeah, I can just throw him to where a bomb was before. Now he falls off the stage. Hopefully, that was like just enough. I need to get him far enough away so that I don't die.
Okay.
Okay, throw him off the stage, and I'm gonna try to re-grab him while he's in the air. It's a bit tough. Yeah, it's really hard to judge where he's gonna land because sometimes he breaks the ground once he gets back on, and sometimes he just doesn't. So might take a few tries to get. Okay. Yeah, he can be really weird with the way he gets back on stage too, because like he thinks he's gonna land somewhere, and then he just immediately speeds up and goes somewhere else. It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like right there, he just completely skipped over that part that he already broke. Very close that time. Come on, Bowser.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Now that I have him, I have to actually hit a bomb. I think it is still intact. Oh wow, I actually dropped him. This might not work then. I do have to grab him again.
Okay.
Even
so
if
close.
even if I don't hit the bomb, I think Slingshot Bowser still does work. He'll just like he'll go far. It just won't be like as far as you want him to.
Right. The bomb is definitely the best way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next time I get hit, I will die. So I'll have to set up again. But that's okay. I'm not stopping until I get this.
Slingshot's
Okay.
If you all have never seen it, like you have to see this.
Yeah, it is a fun one for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that final attempt, he probably would have killed me anyway, because there's actually... Bowser's properties are so weird when he's jumping back on stage that he can actually just drag you down with him. Like, if you grab him at a certain spot, then you'll just both fall into the death plane. Alright. Breaking the stage.
Oh. Okay.
Grabbing him on the first hit is definitely the most difficult. See, he actually slows down his turning the more times you hit him. So.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my god.
Oh no! Be right next to that little slot.
I did not think that Slingshot Bowser would give me more trouble than those two BLJs I did earlier.
Right?
On, but...
You're like, yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna get this one in Hazy Maze, and then you totally get it.
It is definitely fun to do Bowser throws without the stress of being on PB pace, because this is like... This is probably, in my opinion, the most stressful ending to any speedrun ever. Like, it's very iconic, but it is terrifying when you're doing this on PB pace, and you have to hit all three of these throws.
You need to, like, get your throws.
Okay. He's not breaking the floor. This is another weird thing, is whether he breaks the floor or not when he gets back on stage is just kind of random.
Okay.
So I have to just kind of guess that he does it. Yeah, maybe he's just not going to do it in this spot, so...
Okay. Let's try it.
That might work. Okay, no, it didn't. That's still a normal throw.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have an hour and a half to get this, so we'll be fine.
So we're just chilling.
We will... Thankfully, we have really good music, so...
Yeah.
That's not gonna work either.
Because he has to still be in the air, not just you.
Yes, he does still have to be in the air, and it's so hard to judge where he's gonna be. I don't know how I'm surviving that.
Oh.
Alright, back on 1 health now. Cool. He's breathing fire. Big chance of me dying here. Okay, yeah. Once you get down to 1 health, it's like you basically just have to die and restart because there's so many things that can go wrong that can just kill you.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, let's not die. Getting into the stage. Yeah, this can either be one of the easiest or the hardest glitch in the game, as you can see.
Yeah.
It's a lot. This is another one of those things that mostly just happens on accident. Most people are not like actively trying to do this, so.
Right, and it does take some skill as well to make sure you pick him up while he's still in the air.
Yeah, if it was a lot easier to judge where he was gonna land, then this would be so much easier. But
yeah, I don't know how Bird does this so consistently. Bird is so good at Slingshot Bowser. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that looked like it. Good throw. You gotta see the slingshot.
all right, not sure how I survived that one.
Yes.
Probably the best way to judge where he's gonna land is his shadow, but once again, he just kind of like speeds up when he's halfway through his jump, so sometimes like you think he's gonna land in one place and then he just goes somewhere completely different. Now he's breaking the floor. I think when he breaks the floor, it does actually make it a bit easier because like he's not gonna land in that spot, obviously, so he does kind of land in similar spots.
Closer to the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Death. So the reason I keep missing the throw is because to set up this glitch, you have to miss the throw and let him jump back on stage and then grab him back in the air. Ironically enough, it's actually like very easy to grab him after you hit a bomb before he even lands on the ground.
Right.
But when he's jumping back on stage, it's so much more difficult.
Yeah, so you have to like Bowser has to be jumping back onto the stage, and then you have to grab him again in the air in order to have this glitch right. Oh,
probably not gonna work.
No, oh, that looked close. That was better. Is it like he rebounds off the ground and then you pick him up? Because he's landing before you get his tail, usually.
Yeah, it has to be like right before he hits it. Like if I grab him right after he hits the ground, then it just doesn't end up working.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. This should work. I have to keep spinning him. Yep, and there he goes.
There he goes!
Finally down.
It's even better with a bomb because he flies off so far that sometimes you have to restart the entire like fight, right?
Yeah. If you hit him on the final bomb, then I believe there's a chance that he just doesn't come back on stage.
He just won't come back. Yeah, it's true.
Alright, so there's Slingshot Bowser. Finally ended up getting it. I'm surprised it took me that long, but now we can go ahead and just finish up the run. Alright, well now I'm unintentionally missing throws, so I guess I could just try it again. Of course.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hit a bomb. There he goes!
Of course. See, this is what I mean. Sometimes it just happens when you're not even trying to do it.
You can't even make it back on the stage with the first jump. That's what you needed to see, chat.
Yeah. Knowing my luck, I'm not surprised at all that happened on complete accident that time.
It's so
funny. We might end up actually seeing it a third time.
You can try it again.
Now. Okay.
No, okay.
Now I'm done.
Okay.
Now we can just restart the throws from scratch, and hopefully, no more slingshots.
Okay, we're done with the slingshots. We're going for the actual ending now.
Yeah, I'm glad that I eventually got it. Of course, knowing me, I'm like not surprised at all that immediately after trying for like 10 minutes to get it, it just happens on my first try.
No, it's not just for a longer throw. Even if you just try to throw him with a faster speed, it doesn't do that intense of like it's just a straight angle, like parallel with the ground. Like he shoots off at a speed that you cannot get with a regular throw. It's hilariously fast and ridiculous.
It's 2, and the stage starts collapsing. All right, well, that's a miss. Not gonna be going for any more because he finishes up.
Yeah.
All right, that should be the final. Okay.
There it is.
And if I did get a slingshot on that final bomb, then he would have still respawned, and I would have had to hit the final one again. So.
Oh.
All right. Oh, time is coming up when I touch the big star, as per usual.
Is there anything that we can do with Yoshi, by the way?
No. Once you talk to Yoshi, he just jumps off the castle and you're done.
Oh, that's it. Ah,
okay. Alright. Well, that was a very interesting ending. Wasn't expecting to take that long on Slingshot and then get it first try immediately after, but...
Right after, second time. But then we get to see it, like, without the bomb and with the bomb. So you can see, like, how fast he flies without it and then how much faster he flies with it, which is even better. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So that was a lot of the glitches in Mario 64. I am very, very glad I got to show off the Toxic Maze BLJ and SBLJ, the 1-star BLJ, because those are probably 2 of the most difficult in the whole game. So I was expecting the amount of time I took on Slingshot Bowser, I was expecting to take on those glitches.
Sure.
So,
yeah. For sure.
Very
Okay.
glad
Well, let's take a minute then and talk about some of the just because we have a little extra time, like let's talk about some of the things that are, you know, barely RTA viable or even just like task only, and like what kinds of things, like if somebody was going to look up, you know, if they just wanted to see another type of thing that we didn't get to see today, like carpetless, for example, you all should definitely go see it because you got the explanation here, but seeing it in practice, you're like, I don't know how they're doing this. It does not feel... I can't believe a human can do it. So, like, it's definitely something that you need to look up. Like, what other things would you recommend? Like, hey, this is something you need to see.
Well, I always would recommend the 120-star task. That is, like...
Yes.
It's pretty ancient at this point. I think it's from, like, 2012. Yes, I know 2012 is ancient these days.
So, it's an 11-year-old task? They haven't updated it?
I believe so. So, for reference, the world record for 120-star is a 137. And the task from 11 years ago is a 1 hour, 20-minute time. So there's a lot of stuff in there that you'll never, ever see humans do in runs. Like carpetless, very different methods of carpetless. Lots of different BLJs that humans just cannot pull off, ever. They're in such ridiculous locations that people have, like, after millions of tries, probably replicated some of them.
Sure.
But a lot of them are just things that, like... you will never see an RTA run do. Definitely check out the single star leaderboards because single star is basically just doing speedruns of 1 star constantly until you get it, and that involves strats that, again, will never be done in runs because they just require so many attempts to get. One in particular that I always like to point to is Lethal Lava Land. The star that you normally get by rolling the log across the cage. In runs, people get the wing cap and fly to that and just skip that whole thing. But the single star record does a BLJ on the bridge that moves up and down with a bunch of pause buffering that requires insane mashing and really precise timing, and it just clips you straight to the star. Stuff like that. Single star is always crazy. People put in so many hours just to optimize one frame faster for each star.
Well, then another question is, what do you think is like the most interesting single star to check out or to do even?
Honestly, I would probably just say carpetless because
besides that, I knew you were gonna say carpetless.
Yeah, besides carpetless, because that's just such a revolutionary trick. I would probably say either the one in Lethal Lava Land or Tall Tall Mountain. The Blast of the Lonely Mushroom Star is another BLJ that you do right at the start of the stage. And you can just BLJ on this very specific slope that we use to long jump into the mountain flip. Uh-huh. And that just sends you straight to the mushroom where the star is. So yeah, just usually stars like that, or if it's less than like 10 seconds, it's usually gonna be a really good single star.
Cool.
Stuff in Jolly Roger Bay as well, because in single star you actually get the metal cap for some of those and like
Mhm.
convert backwards momentum, so you start falling underwater really fast and you just go straight into the star. So um, yeah, single star is really cool. There's just a ton of crazy stuff that happens in this run that you would never see in RTA stuff. But for the most part, I am going to have to show off stuff that doesn't take a million different tries
Right.
for one per person to get once. Um, so yeah, this is honestly like just kind of scratching the surface of how broken this game is. It's
Sure.
just a lot of the stuff that's super broken would not be viable for an exhibition like this because it would just take so insanely long to do.
Right.
Like
Like
people
even
people really do put in like hundreds of
Thank
hours
you
just
so
to
much
get it
for
once
playing
most of
my
the
yeah.
time.
game.
Yeah. Just to get some of these skips. So like that's why I wanted to talk about this for a minute, just to be like, here's some of the things that like maybe you missed or just are so hard to like include because there's been so much, like you're saying, like hundreds of hours, like just for specific people to put into this. So there's definitely a lot. Um Oh, that was a while ago. Sorry, I was looking at a message. All right, you all. Well, let's talk about what else you're doing, what you're working on, or if you have any specific shout outs for the SM64 community, specifically as well. Feel free to include that. And then include some of your plugs. So it's like, where can we find you? What are you doing?
All right. Well, as far as the SM64 community goes, they just had an event called Pace that I was actually just at for a week. Uh, that was hosted by GSA Global Speedrun Association. Uh, that was a LTA event, which is essentially an event where 6 or 7 different runners compete to see who can get the fastest time in a certain period. So I believe it was like 3 different shifts of 12 hours over 3 days, and
Wow.
whoever had the fastest time at the end of 12 hours won the event. And Punkation won that. All the different runners that were in there, definitely check them out. Punkay, Simply, uh, Cheese was there too. He wasn't in the event, but he was there. I'm sure Cheese will be on the grind at some point.
Hmm.
Um, uh, Beast Assassin, Green Suigi, who is pretty much like the current goat of this game. He holds 4 out of 5 world records in this game. He has everything
Whoa.
except 120 star. Um, I believe he's still trying to improve 70 right now. He's not going to go for the full sweep just yet. So definitely check him out.
Wow.
And honestly, just check out the SM64 leaderboard. Like there are just so many people that run this game. It's by far the most popular speed game just of all time.
Yeah. I was
Like
gonna
the
say,
sheer amount of runs that just 16 star on emulator has is pretty wild. So
in terms of games, all games, I think it is not most active, but most amount of players. I think it is still it's up there. Um, aside from like Minecraft and like one or two other things, it is
yeah.
like the top basically console game, period, in speedrunning, which is wild. So yes, there are a lot of runs you can check out. Okay, but let's also talk about you. What are you doing? What are you working on? Where can we find you? What are you streaming? Tell us everything.
So right now, I have for the past like couple months, I've actually been like on a bit of a break from speedrunning and stuff, but I think I will try to get back into it within like the next week maybe or so.
Cool.
It won't be like serious grinding maybe for a while, but there is an event coming up at the end of this week called the 1545 relay race.
Oh,
So you see that number and you're like very confused immediately, obviously. So basically, what that is there's um, there's a multi Mario event that happens twice a year called the 602, which is Mario
right.
64 120 star, Galaxy 120, Sunshine 120, and then Galaxy 2 242. It's all those games plus the rare trilogy of games like Banjo Kazooie, Tooie, and DK64, and then the 3 Spyro games and 3 Crash games. All those are back to back, all those games, and it's a big relay race of multiple people. So like for this event, I'm doing Mario Sunshine 120, and after I'm done, somebody will swap out for me and play a different game.
Wow.
So I'm not personally doing a 50-hour run. It's me and
Okay.
a bunch of other people. Because I have not learned any of those rare Spyro Crash games. But yeah, that's coming up. I believe there's 4 teams in it. It'll be streamed at twitch.tv/MCSN um, for multi-community speedrun network because it basically just brings together Mario Rare and the Crash and
And
Spyro
Thrash.
communities for one big
Thrash?
event.
Yeah. Thrash.
It's a really cool event. It's been going on since 2017, I believe, and yeah, it's gonna be happening over the course of this weekend. So be sure to tune in for that.
Cool.
Um, and I guess
Also, I was gonna say for those who wanted to check out, well, you hear that Oddme's doing Mario Sunshine. Oddme has also been on the show before, showing off the glitches in Mario Sunshine. So you can always head to our YouTube channel and check out that episode. It was awesome. There's that game is also very, very broken. So that is a fantastic episode that I absolutely recommend you check out. So I'm sorry, I
yep.
totally interrupted you.
No, it's fine. I was a big fan of that show in particular. I really liked Sunshine's glitches.
Mhm.
But yeah, Sunshine's kind of my main thing, but I'm mostly known just for being like the 602 guy. Like I always alternate between 64, Sunshine, both the Galaxy games. Maybe sometime in the future I'll be back on this show again with like Galaxy 2 or something because that's like the only one I haven't done.
Yeah,
um
we have had
so
Odyssey.
yeah. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I
Oh,
might be streaming again within next week or so. We'll see. Um well, it just depends on how much motivation I got for the Mario stuff, but
for sure.
uh
Well,
maybe this
you
maybe
have
this
people
plus
here
pace.
who, like, enjoyed the run and enjoyed the showcase and or I guess just the showcase, and, I'm sure they'd wanna see more, so make sure you follow Oddme so that you can then, check out when he goes live with some more speed runs. So yeah, thank you again for joining us for your 3rd time because 'cause we've also
Yes.
seen Galaxy 1 on the show, which is
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah. So thank you all so much for watching this episode. I appreciate you all being here this evening. We are the last show for the night for Hotfix, but don't worry, tomorrow we have random number generation starting at 7 p.m., which is great, followed by time capsule on its new night at 10 p.m. So time capsule has now moved to Tuesdays every other night, which is or every other week, which is super cool. So make sure to check those out if you haven't seen this before. We have some other fantastic shows here on Hotfix, like the one before ours is called Awfully Silly. You got awful block games, silly block games, all kinds of stuff like that in one show, which is fantastic. Great show. Definitely recommend. Also, once again, keep your eyes out for Flame Fatales. We have our Flame Fatales event coming up at the end of August or kind of mid August. Super excited. That's August 13th to the 20th. I'm so pumped. We're once again benefiting the Lala Fund. And it's like our all women speedrunning event and, charity speedrunning event. It's great. You can also still submit prizes for the event. So if you want to do that, you can go over or use just exclamation FF in the channel right now. You can learn more that way. Also, another reminder that GDQ is hiring. So if you've experience in website design and development and would like to help overhaul our website, yay, or you have experience in social media creation and you want to help out at our live events, make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs. And you can apply, which is super, super cool. So yeah, we have all our VODs on our YouTube channel, like I was mentioning earlier. And just want to say thank you all for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, by the way, feel free to hit a like or tell us your favorite moment of the show. We love to hear that. We love to read it. And we will see you on the next Monday episode. This show runs every other Monday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you're watching this later on and you want to catch a live episode, that's when you know to come on by. So we will see you next time. Thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Oddme. You're fantastic. And have a great rest of your night, everybody. Take care. Bye.